Welcome to John S.'s Sports Channel. We're going to go through League One and we're going to go through a little bit of transfer news. I think it's just about the right time to go through a little bit of transfer news now. With the Club World Club Cup thing finishing, we're going to start to see a little bit more movement, I think. As you start seeing the Premier League do some more movements, you will start to see it ripple down. You'll start seeing players released and moving down the pyramid. So let's start with Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient have gone for a Premier League striker from Brighton and Hove Albion. Mark Mahoney. He was actually on loan, wasn't he, at Portsmouth last season? And I think it's this is a decent capture for me. This is one of those captures that could actually be a decent move for them. Certainly, he's got the pedigree to be able to push Leyton Orient and keep them near the top. And I always say, if you can get the goals, then you should be able to get a few points from those goals. I say should because Rotherham actually managed to get a few goals last season, and they finished mid-table. And if you look at the number of goals they scored, you would have expected them to have had a few points extra than what they did, and not be looking over the shoulder at relegation. But on the whole, statistics do say the more goals you get, the more points you tend to get. Like I say, last season didn't quite work out for Rotherham, did it? But for Leyton Orient, trying to stay up there with everybody else, will it work for them? I think this is a good signing, and I think that if they can get that under the belt, and it does look like it's going to be a done deal soon, I think that would be a good idea. Leyton Orient, first one up. Now, I did say teams coming down tend to get a little bit raided, as do the ones that lose in the final for the promotion to the next league. And Derby County have moved for Carlton Morris from Luton Town. I think he's got a good set. Look, everybody knows what Carlton Morris can do. I don't need to sing his praises. He can be a brilliant player, and I think that as a striker, brilliant player, knows where the net is. For me, he can also be a little bit clumsy, I think. It doesn't really. Let's say consistency. Probably say it that way. His consistency for me is not that brilliant. I mean, you only have to look at the fact that Luton got relegated. Look, he can do better than what he has been playing. Will he be able to do that in the Derby team? And I'm worried that the Derby team is going to be in the same position in the table as Luton Town were. And, he needs a club where he can really get some enthusiasm in there and be fighting for that top half of the table, not fighting to get out of the relegation zone again. That's my only problem here, is whether it will suit the player in this case. Whether it will suit Derby County, absolutely. I think it's a really good move. But Derby County have, over the last year or two, been able to get some really good players. Even under the Warne era, they got some really good players in, which surprised me. Paul Warne being able to get some the players of the stature he did into Derby when they were in League One was amazing. And they still have some really, really outstanding players in that team. I think Derby County could certainly use and utilise those players that they've got, those really star players, what I would call them, a little bit better this season. With the addition of Carlton Morris, will that make a difference? It very well may do. Derby County fans, please do leave a comment down below. And Luton Town fans, you tell me what you think to that move. Do comment and like and subscribe that as well. And we'll move on. So the next one, Luton Town. So, of course, staying in League One, we're going to concentrate again on Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient and now MK Dons are looking at Costello from Burnley. Now, of course, last season he was out at Accrington Stanley. Then he got pulled back and given out on loan to Northampton Town. Yeah, not the best of consistent players. He can do 15 appearances for the Cobblers, 6 goals. Pretty good, isn't it? But he struggled to even get in the net, get the ball in the net in League Two. This player can do really well, but he also can do pretty mid-average League One football. Would this be a good target for Leyton Orient? My sources are suggesting this is one of those times where the player's manager is actually trying to push his players' information onto the internet and trying to get him a good move. Try and get him somewhere where he can get a first team place more often, because obviously he's not going to get it at Burnley, certainly not now where they are. And I'm just thinking that's where it's happening here. We're seeing a few little pushes of information into the internet, trying to create stories. Leyton Orient fans, again, please do tell me whether you think this is a true story from Leyton Orient. I'm not quite sure that they are going after him. If they are, it's a very odd one for me, because I think they need to be going for better players than this with a lot more consistency. So Costello from Burnley, I'd probably see him more likely going to MK Dons, to be quite honest. Leyton Orient, again, tell me what you think, but I don't think this time I don't think it's a very good bit of news for Leyton Orient, if indeed they're going down that route. Then let's have a look at my side, Rotherham United. Obviously, they've signed Kean Spence from Barrow and on a free. 2-year deal with obviously a note on an extra year. Fleetwood Town next. Fleetwood Town. Now they've made an approach for Brendan Oyadu. Now this is a good signing. I don't usually say going down a division to grab the best players are always a good thing. In this case, I think it could be. He actually played really well last season, and I was actually quite impressed by some of the Fleetwood games. Not all of them. Some of them were really well planned and really well managed on the pitch. And of course, I think that's where that particular Oyadu particularly comes in handy. The other player that they've been sort of banded around, and is it the agent again? Not quite sure. Ryan Graydon, not really. More of a sort of winger. Are we going to be able to? I can see why we're going for for Fleetwood captain, but I can't. The Ryan Graydon one, it's a little bit more. Crossing fingers and hoping that we get the sort of League Two, lower League One style standard player, and manage to bring them into the sort of upper League One standards. A Barrow player into Fleetwood players in. What does that say about the Rotherham United side going forward? To me, it says, look, we're trying to concentrate on our own kids and trying to develop and for instance the under nines. We've got some under nines with 3 under nines that we signed, and then we're actually starting to develop the academy. We've never thought about doing that. Certainly in the Evans era, absolutely mad idea. It's a great idea. It's just what the clubs like certainly Brentford are doing and have done for ages, And it's a great idea. Look where it got them. It's not going to get Rotherham up there, but it's a really good idea. It starts to bring in great players if you can push them forward well enough. And Rotherham have also made some very shrewd signings off the pitch in the training area. Richard Woody's back, and he'll make an absolutely brilliant trainer. He really will. He's a great defender, and of course, end of his career, and he's come back as a trainer for Rotherham. And he will be welcomed with open arms by the fans. So we've had some really good acquisitions on the staff side in the back room, and I'm thinking that's where we seem to be going here. We're trying to get players who we think can make it in the upper half of League One, but they need a little or a lot of training and development. That's where I think we're going with these three Rotherham possibles. Obviously, one's a definite now, the Kean Spence. Other Rotherham fans, please do tell me what you think. And I think that we're building a side here that this season will be mid-table, but we're looking at doing some really good work with them, and hopefully it works. Hopefully the backroom staff changes do indeed make a difference for my team, Rotherham. And we'll go on to the next one. That's a little bit of news from Rotherham at last. We'll see what else we get over the next few weeks, shall we? Next one up, Bradford City. Now we're looking at the fact that former Wigan and it was Hearts, wasn't it? Formerly Hearts and Wigan man has managed to make a deal at Bradford City go through. Stephen Humphreys actually was going to go. It looked like he was assessing going to Barnsley, wasn't it? And it sort of like just fizzled out, and now he's signed until 2027 for Bradford City. Now, I actually quite like this guy. He's got mainly for his pace, mainly for the fact that he can really go box to box. This guy, he can really do quite a lot of running, and I'm quite impressed by Bradford on this one. It's almost like they sat in the background thinking, well, if that falls through, I think this will be a really good acquisition. The only problem I've got there is, why did it fall through? Because you've got to be very careful. Some of these things fall through because of issues with health, and as far as I can remember, it not being that much injury prone. Please do tell me if I've got that totally wrong. I think that this could be the one that just helped Bradford do quite well this season. So Barnsley there just managing to fail on this one. I think it would have been a good bet for either side. He's got some. I think the pace here would have been the thing that would have been a benefit to either side. In the end, he went to Bradford City. Well done, Bradford City. Now, let's go to Huddersfield Town. Now, this is actually a really interesting one for me because this shows intent. And I know a lot of you subscribers from Huddersfield have been telling me for quite a while. It was a dismal season last season, wasn't it? Just didn't ever get going. They never played badly, but they never played well. And they're being linked with Stoke City, so they're being linked with Nathan Lowe. Now, let's just have a quick look. They're looking at about $2.5 million for this player, so they obviously are intent on. They're showing intent on making the most of this season and turning things around. He spent the first half of last season in League Two with Walsall, scoring. I think it was 18 goals in 30 games. So you've got to think that he can be an excellent player, and he really can be an excellent player. This is one of those players who, as a Championship club, you look at and you think, is not quite ready for the Championship, but a really good League One side should be able to get absolutely the best out of this player. Why they're selling him, I don't know, because these are the players, like I said with the Rotherham side, these are the players that I think clubs like Brentford would be absolutely training up, sending out for a few games like they did last season with Lowe, and then trying to develop him into a championship player, because I think there's an absolutely great championship player in this guy, and I think that he has got the ability to do really well. He did play several 10 appearances, for Stoke last season, and I think he played really well. I think that he could be. I think even if it fails, this really does show intent to me, and I think this could be. It could be a really good signing. Should they be able to get it? Yeah, and I've just been reading something else about that bit, and saying that Stoke City may be sort of getting into a little bit of PSR worries there, and that they're sort of trying to just juggle the books. And where's best to get an extra £2.5 million in? Well, it's from the kids, isn't it? Is that a good idea? I don't know. Tell me what you think, fans. Would you like your club? Obviously, it's a League One video. Would you like your club to be selling players just to keep the books balanced? Would you prefer that they sell the kids, or would you start thinking about let's just sell the ones that we know are good at this level to other teams at this level and risk them a scoring against you like Rotherham seem to get all the time? Tell me down below in the comments. And but I think overall, I like this one. Huddersfield Town. That was the next one. So then we go for midfielder Tom Lawrence. Now this is a little bit more difficult, this one, because this I think is absolutely more about the players' manager, I think, because we've got Stockport County, we've got Wrexham, we've got West Brom, we've got Coventry interested in it. Is a free agent now, because obviously he got released by Rangers. He is 31, midfielder. He's got lots and lots of experience. Obviously, originally went to the Ibrox from Derby when they were having money worries, ages ago. It's been a bit of a mixed bag up there. He brings a lot of experience, and I think he brings a lot of experience in hard-hitting football, really physical football. He is, I think, used to that physical side of the game. But he's 31, and we're starting to see cracks in his appearance as far as how he plays and how consistent he is. Again, you see, this is the worry that people have been banding around on the internet. The players that move quickly in the transfer window, and especially the ones that are for free, tend to be either inconsistent or they're at the end of their playing career, or towards the end. And this player is actually both. Would it be a good idea for Stockport? I think a short-term one, you perhaps give him a play as you earn as you play as you earn, whatever. I think that might be a good idea here. Rotherham did actually hand one such contract out last year or the year before, I think. It's one of those where I think the club has to make sure that they don't lose out by giving a person a contract and then him being starting to get injured because of his age. And I'm saying that because we're talking League One. League One can get really, really physical. It's not as physical as what football he's been playing, so either Derby or Rangers, I don't think. So now it's going to be a lot more in your face if he goes to Stockport. Would it be better then for him at Wrexham or West Brom or Coventry? I think that the age profile may not fit the Wrexham position. it may fit West Brom or it may fit Coventry. I think mainly because I think they could. He's very good at bringing on the kids. I think it would be really good at trying to pull some of those midfielders that they've got in the younger age group. I think, to me, this player has to be looked at as a future prospect for the backroom staff. I think he'd do really well if he's done his training badges. But as a player, League One, a little bit worried that Stockport might find themselves with a bit of a donkey. Sorry, what do you think, Stockport fans? Please do comment down below and like and subscribe. Next we'll go Burton Albion. It's not really a story, this one, I suppose, but it's JJ McKinnon from Lincoln, and obviously Lincoln have an excess of attacking midfielders, don't they? They're really really heavy on the attacking midfielders. That's why I think. They had a really good season last season when they were doing well. They were scoring really easily because they could just, it didn't matter if they had injuries in midfield. Certainly not attacking midfield. They could pull one from anywhere. JJ McKinnon was at Burton last season and he did a reasonable job. I think that this is a young player who can do even better than what he is doing. Will they be able to get extra out of him? Now, I tell you what, I was impressed by Burton's ability last season to be able to squeeze that little extra ounce out of each player, including JJ McKinnon. And I think we will see him doing well. Is it the right move? Yeah, I think it is. I think that, a little bit consistency for a player. If he's going out on loan, I've already mentioned several players going out on loan, and they've been at one club in first part of last season, another club at the second half. It's nice to have a little bit of consistency and feel like you're part of their team, rather than being, I'm here for about 3 months and I'm going to be disappearing off to another one in January. Yeah, it's a lot better if it's a bit more consistent, and this gives him a little bit more consistency, and who knows, it may become permanent. Let's see. Burton Albion is the next one. So thank you for watching. I thought I'd just go through League One's news stories and latest gossip, and hopefully, if you like it, do give me a like, do give me a share. And do subscribe, because the more people who subscribe, the more I can do and provide you with extra little insights and news stories. Thank you for watching. It's John S's Sports Channel. Like I said, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.